In this video, we're going to be taking a look at how we use ratios to convert measurement units. So, an example of how I would use this type of problem is, say I had 16 gallons of milk and I wanted to know how many quarts of milk that is. Okay, so this is where I would use what's called a conversion factor in order to be able to solve this. So what I would need to know is that there are 4 quarts in a gallon. So if I have 2 equal measurements, my conversion factor will be written as 4 quarts over 1 gallon, or I could also write it as 1 gallon over 4 quarts. Basically, what this is saying is these are equivalent. So basically what that means is that these are equal to 1. They would simplify. They look different, but they are the same measurement. 4 quarts is 1 gallon. 1 gallon is 4 quarts. So they are equivalent, which means it's a conversion factor. How is this used? Take the problem where I have 16 gallons again. I'm going to start off with that measurement. Okay. I am going to multiply it by some fraction. The 16 gallons is really over 1. I want to get rid of the gallons. So what I'm going to do is put it on the bottom so that way it crosses off. Since I want to know how many quarts there are, I can fill in the rest. That I know that there are 4 quarts in 1 gallon. Now you'll notice my very first step was not about numbers. It was not about numbers at all. It was about putting the units of measurement so they cancel, so that the gallons crossed off, because I know I do not want gallons in my answer. I want quarts instead. But then I put this conversion factor. Okay? Remember, this is just like I'm multiplying by 1. 16 times 1 is still going to equal, 16 gallons times 1 is still going to give me 16 gallons. But this is going to look a little bit different because it's a different unit of measurement. It is dealing with quarts instead of gallons. But in order to give me something that's going to be equal to 16 gallons, I would do 16 times 4, and I would get 64 quarts. So why is this more important than you looking and saying 16 gallons, oh, I know there's 4 quarts in a gallon, okay, I do 16 times 4. That's great for reasoning skills, okay? But this lays it out so that I know the gallons cross off and I'm going to end up with quarts. What if I said I'm going to give you 16 gallons and I want to know how many cups that is? Well, instead of randomly multiplying things, I can set this up to be 16 gallons. I'm going to multiply it, okay? And I can write on the side the fact that I know that in 1 gallon there are 4 quarts, and that in 1 quart there is going to be 2 cups. So what I can do is begin to lay it out. Well, okay, I know that I want to get rid of gallons, so I'm going to put gallons here. But in this case, I know that 1 gallon is going to be 4 quarts like I have up above. Well, I have quarts, I don't have gallons yet. So then I can multiply by a second one and have the quarts down here, because once again, I want to cross off quarts. And then I know that in 1 quart, there are going to be 2 cups. So how this is laid out shows me that it's going to be 16 over 1. I can multiply across the top 16 times 4 times 2 and get 128. And then I multiply across the bottom and got 1, so I have 128 cups. So it saves me steps, it saves me second guessing do I add, do I do I multiply or do I divide by a number? It lays it all right out for me about how I want to simplify it. So this is how we're going to begin using these ratios, that 4 quarts is the same thing as 1 gallon. Use them as conversion factors in order to be able to change the units of measurement.